Hi everyone, Mrs. Bukhari here. Today I'm going to tell you the story of Horrible Hilda and Henry by Emma Chichester Clark. Hilda and Henry Hatter were two thoroughly horrible children. They made their parents' lives a misery. Don't jump on the chairs. This one's for you, Dad. Stop it at once. Brilliant, Hilda. Boo! Ah! Have some of this, Henry. Yee, get off, sissy little girlie. It was after they had painted the new wallpaper green and each other purple that Mr. and Mrs. Hatter decided to give them to a zoo. The zookeeper was delighted. It was a long time since he had had any new animals. The giraffes and elephants were not so pleased to see them. Hilda and Henry threw their food around and danced on their backs. They were beastly to the snakes. They bullied the poor penguins and bored the kiwis and ostriches with their silly games. They nearly deafened the parrots and they dive-bombed the seals. In the monkey enclosure, Hilda and Henry were abominable. They gobbled up all their bananas and shocked the visitors as they swung about and screamed and shouted. They were wilder than any of the animals in the zoo. Ah! Wham! Poor monkey! Oh my goodness! Don't look. What are they doing? Oh dear, oh dear. Eventually, the animals complained to the zookeeper. He was very, very angry. Something has got to be done. Their manners are terrible. Little beasts, greedy and nasty. Couldn't get a word in. They've got to go. Horrible. We got so splashed. Please untie us. That is enough, he shouted. The fun and games are over. He put the children into a cage with a bad-tempered lion called Brian. For once in their lives, Hilda and Henry were frightened, and for the first time since they had arrived at the zoo, they wished they could go home. Brian had a ferocious appetite. After he had finished his dinner, grrr, he ate. Hilda's and Henry's as well. The children were too frightened to complain. They grew thinner and terribly nervous. Brian's roar made their hair stand on end. They wished now that they hadn't been so horrible. In all their lives, they had never, ever done a single thing that they were told, and now they were sorry. One day, Mr. and Mrs. Hatter came to visit Hilda and Henry and were amazed by the changes they saw. They decided to take the children home. Hooray! They invited Brian to come and look after Hilda and Henry, just in case they began to slip back into their old ways. Hilda and Henry became considerate and helpful, obedient and kind. Thank you, Henry. That's lovely and shiny, Hilda. What shall I dust next, Mum? Would you like me to do the raking now? Brian was quite fond of them now that they were nicer. They even brushed their teeth and went to bed on time. Once upon a time. Good night, children. In fact, as Brian said to Mrs. Hatter one day, no one would ever guess just how horrible Hilda and Henry used to be. Ha ha! We'll see. The end.